Hello and welcome to the Lost Pines Workshop. I'm Jensen. So in a previous video I explained how to read the tape measure, right? Inches and fractions of an inch and how all of that is deciphered, right? There's a link to that down below. Today I wanted to take a few minutes to discuss a few other features that are in a tape measure that may help you with your projects. So to start, let's talk about this little hook on the end, right? You know it moves, okay? It's not broken. What this is designed to do is give you actual zero, whether you're pulling the tape measure or pushing the tape measure, right? It moves the same amount as the thickness of the hook, right? In this case, it's about 1/16 of an inch. All right, so zero this way and zero that way. Right on, number one. Number two, you'll notice here there's a little hole or a slot in the end of the hook. What's its purpose? Well, it has one, right? You're working by yourself and you need to measure something that's like really long, and you can't just do this. You're working from one side of a room to another or whatever, something that's long, and you're by yourself. Well, that little notch is there so that you can hook it on a nail and take off. You can go the full length of the tape measure. Now this one's 16 feet. Or if you don't want to use a nail, you can hook it on a screw. Works the same way. Right on? Now, if you're working with metal, then perhaps you want a tape measure that the tip is magnetic. That helps, right? It's still got the hook on the end, but it has a magnetic tip. So if you're working with metal, it'll help hook on to whatever it is that you're measuring in metal. Now, some tape measures on the bottom edge of this hook have a serrated edge. And that serrated edge has a function, right? Say you dropped your pencil, you can't find it, which is typically my case, or can't find my tape measure. I can use, let's say I want to measure 6 inches up this board. I can put my 6-inch mark here on the end, and I can take the blade here on the end and make a mark with that serrated edge, like so. That's number 3. Number 4. Okay, you're measuring the inside of a windowsill to hang your curtains, or to buy curtains or a curtain rod. Well, doing this gives you an inaccurate measurement, right? Well, 99% of the tape measures that are made, this one, this does not, and this one, have written on the side of the case the measurement, how wide this is from this point right here, this flat on the face, to the back. In this case, this one says 3 inches. So I know whatever I measure across my windowsill, I put this corner in the other corner, whatever this says plus 3 inches is my actual measurement. Easy, right? Well, hey, if you like this video and the information that I'm sharing, please remember to hit that like button. It helps with small channel growth. Okay, so let's say, well, hang stuff on the wall. Yeah. And we're always trying to find the studs. Where are they? Well, in typical construction, the studs that are located in your walls, right, the vertical pieces, those are called studs, are 16 inches apart from the center to the center, right? The center of the board. That's the normal spacing for traditional construction. Modern construction, what they call advanced framing, actually pushes those out to 24 inches center to center. But our tape measures are set up for 16-inch on-center construction. All right. So once you locate one stud, easiest one to find is usually over in the corner. Every 16 inches, they've made it easy. They put a nice red box on it, right? There's 2. Every 16 inches, it's highlighted in red. It makes it easy to find, all right? There's another one at 19.2 inches. This will be for floor framing in an older home. There is where is it? That black diamond right there? Same center to center spacing, but this is going to be for older homes with wood floor framing. Helps you locate the center, the center, right? So if I go down to 38 and 3/8, there's another one. Right on? That's the black diamonds. That's what they're for. Okay, so now I'm going to zoom in and we're going to take a closer look at the tape and actually looking at it and reading it. There's a trick here. So I've drawn a line on my paper here, right? And we're just going to say I'm going to measure from this edge to this line, figure out what it is. Well, let's go from this edge that way, right? If I hook my tape measure on here and I pull it and you look at it, what does it look like? What does the measurement say? Hard to tell, right? Because the tape measure is way up here, a 1/2 inch above the line. Well, I got a couple of options. I could turn the tape measure on its side, but it's still a little bit off. The easiest way to do it is to lock it and push it. I moved it. There we go. Push that, what we call rolling the tape measure, right? We're pushing it down and rolling it onto the surface of what it is that we're measuring. The hook is still hooked down here on this end, and it's locked, so it just holds itself in place. Now it's easier to read. I can get a much more accurate measurement. Okay? Now, the last thing I want to talk about is what is called parallax error. Right? Parallax is a difference in viewing something straight on or slightly skewed from one angle or another. So when you're reading a tape measure, make sure, roll your tape down to your surface, right? And then make sure you're looking straight down on the tape measure and whatever you're measuring, right? If you're looking at it from over here or this direction at an angle or this direction, even at a slight angle, you could potentially miss your mark, right? And that mark could be as much as a 1/16 of an inch. Depending on what you're doing, that may be important. It may not. But always view your measurement straight on and to be accurate. So there you have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little hints that may help you on your next project. Hope you found this video useful. We'll see you down the road.